Mm-mm-mm. Calvin Johnson retiring, man. This I'm gonna just say, I wish future becomes the best it can be. Um, he had he had 9 good seasons with the Lions statistically, even though he didn't win anything meaningful, but he still was the best receiver in the past 10 years. He's a once in every generation type of receiver, if you ask me. Um, I wish him the best of his future, seriously, because this is a huge loss to the Lions. This is a huge loss to the fan base. This is a huge loss. This is just a huge loss all around, man. This is a huge loss to Matthew Stafford and his weapons. Believe it or not, is his biggest weapon by far. Man, losing Calvin Johnson, man. He was my favorite Detroit Lion. And now first first in Dominican Sue last year we lost him to Miami. Now this year we losing Calvin Johnson to retirement. And years back we lost Barry Sanders to retirement. Now Calvin, he's retiring because I guess because of the built up injuries over the years. I believe that he believes that he doesn't have it anymore. He probably doesn't have like the physical. I mean, he's still a physical specimen, but he doesn't have. He don't think he'll be productive anymore because of the injuries over the years, over the past couple of years. He's been building up on him. He's been in a lot of pain. He's been missing games, been missing practices. I mean, not all. I mean, he don't show up to every practice and nothing like that because of the injuries. He always trying to heal up injuries, and so he want to have a good health after football. So I understand him retiring. Football is a rough sport, man. Football is a sport you got to have really high tolerance for. Football is a sport that you got to have really good dedication to the sport because if you don't, you're not going to last long in the NFL. I think Calvin Johnson does have dedication because he played 9 seasons in the NFL. He does have dedication, but the I believe the triggering things that lead him up to retirement is number one, the Lions got a new general manager. Believe it or not, that plays a part. Number two, the Lions haven't won anything meaningful. I'm gonna just be honest. I'm being a Lions fan. I'm being honest. I think that got something to do with him retiring because we not in a winning position right now. We not going to no NFC Championship game or Super Bowls or something like that. If that was the case, he probably wouldn't have retired. I think that got something to do with it, but I think the main thing is the injuries. He's getting tired of getting banged up and all this stuff, having so much pain and sitting in ice tubs and all that stuff. I think he's getting sick and tired of going through the recycled pain that he's been going through mentally and physically. And plus, he want to live his other half of his life because I think he about to have a kid and stuff like that, and he's married. So yeah, that's what caused him to retire. I think it's because he want to have a future after football, and plus he made a lot of money over his career. That got something to do with it. I just don't hope, even though I believe that he still got something left in him. I thought Calvin was going to play at least another 4 or 5 years, honestly. At least. Even if he wasn't as good as he was, I thought he was going to at least play at least another 4 to 5 years before he really considered retiring. Be like, okay, he played like 14 seasons. Okay, I understand. But this was unexpected, though. This was unexpected. Well, it was expected for the past month, but it was unexpected over the past, I say, going into this past season. Nobody expected him to retire. We didn't expect him to retire. We expected him to stay on the team with Matthew Stafford and build this thing into a Super Bowl contender. We need to build it together. Megatron is what Pikachu is to Ash Ketchum for Pokemon. That's what the hell Calvin Johnson is. Calvin Johnson is Calvin Johnson is to what's another analogy? He's the jelly to the peanut butter. You know, it's a marriage between the two on the field, and the way the chemistry is. We not gonna see any more deep ball catches anymore. That's gonna suck, man, because that shit used to be exciting to watch. Watch Calvin Johnson high point the ball and just get the jump ball. I miss him getting them damn jump balls. We ain't gonna see that no more. Seeing him catching the ball over 3 or 4 defenders like he did against not San Diego Chargers, but like he did against the Dallas Cowboys in 2010, like he did against the Cincinnati Bengals in 2013 at home when Stafford just lobbed the ball up and he caught over 4 defenders. We're not going to see that no more. And that I think that kind of took a toll on his body too, getting hit from underneath, getting hit right here. I think the one thing that made him retire, I ain't gonna say it did, but that hit when he got hit by Brandon Browner, that might have made him think about some shit, maybe. That hit right there was vicious as hell. If you seen that game against the Saints, you should have seen how he cleaned his clock off. Like he knocked this shit. But I don't think that made him retire, but that hit made me think about some shit, It's hard to lose Calvin Johnson, man, for real. It's hard for this team because I want to know how they're going to respond in the draft. How they going to draft? How they going to draft? Because I know Calvin Johnson. He said he don't want to play for no other team, but now he's retiring. But he at least didn't do Barry Sanders. He did give us a warning that he's going to retire. He did get a team warning and all that stuff. Barry just said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm retired. I'm done. I quit. But I don't hold that against Barry. I guess he's doing that for himself. And running backs definitely gonna take the punishment and all that stuff even more than the receiver. They gonna take all the punishment, the hits, and all that shit. So from Barry's standpoint, I can kind of understand. I can understand both of their points though. But man, I know this is gonna be the joke of next season. Oh, you lost both of your best players you ever had. Ha ha ha. I know people are gonna be pointing this towards the Lions being incompetent and not trying to change things. I don't think that's the reason why he retired though. I mean, he plays a part, but it's not the sole reason why. But man, I just hope for the best for Calvin Johnson, man. For real. I just don't want to see him. I don't want to see him looking like T.O. or some dumb shit, retiring, and then come back and be on some Tiki Barber shit, retire kind of early, and try to come back and shit because of I guess financial reasons or something like that, or just because he think, oh yeah, I'm back now, I'm healthy now, I can come back, and he tried to get a trial for an NFL team, nobody want to pick him up because he was too old. But even though it's not official, but he had a meeting with his friends and family and told Jim Caldwell that he was going to retire. Even though he didn't make it, he ain't said in the press conference or anything like that. But it sucks. Either way it goes, it sucks to lose Calvin Johnson, man. For real. Probably the best receiver in the past 15 years. probably the best receiver we had since Randy Moss. You know, and probably he was the best receiver in a 4-year span between 2009 and 2013. He was the best, the absolute best receiver in the game. He was a monster, a beast. Especially 2011, 2012. That dude was an animal. He was a beast. He broke Jerry Rice's records. It was just, I mean, shoot, that dude's an animal, man. And to lose him, man, that's gonna suck, man. Now you sit here and think, what is Stafford gonna throw to? That's Calvin is what Calvin is the Robin to Matthew Stafford's Batman. What what is Stafford gonna throw to now? But that's not the main thing, man. I just hope for the best with Calvin. But yeah, I should talk about that. Who is Stafford going to throw to now? Since his best weapon is not there anymore, it's not going to be there. Golden Tate. I like Golden Tate. He's a beast. He's a beast. Mm. Who? Lance Moore, please. He not a number one or a number two for that matter. TJ Jones, he's good, but he still needs some work. He need to run routes better. You know, he need to become a better route runner. There's no receivers on this team that's really that good, honestly. And getting one in the draft, I don't know, because this is not a good draft for receivers in my opinion. There's maybe 2 good receivers in this draft total, and that's Corey Coleman and Laquan Treadwell. Even though I think Corey Coleman is better than Laquan Treadwell, in my opinion, I think he's better because he reminds me of kind of like an Antonio Brown type of receiver. I ain't saying he is Antonio Brown, but he kind of reminds me of him. When Antonio Brown came out of Central Michigan, there you go. I don't know what the Lions going to do. This changed their whole philosophy of drafting now. How is they going to draft this offseason? What they're going to target in the first round, is it going to be receiver? Is it going to be running back? Is it going to be linebacker, defensive tackle, offensive lineman? What is it going to be? I don't know. Even though I believe we should go defense, get a defensive tackle, shore up the inside, the interior, because the interior is pretty damn weak, and get a linebacker. I know we drafted Kyle Van Noy. They need to give him a chance, in my opinion. Also, get rid of Tulloch. Even though I like Tulloch, I'm a fan, but I don't know how they're going to address the draft, man. But this loss, this sucks, man. But I just hope for the best for Calvin, man. That's all I got to say in this video. Peace.